I'm Tiffany. I'm out here with Tamara today, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about my trail shoes. Again, I like to preface this with your feet are your own, run what you're comfortable in. I have used a lot of different shoes, and I know people that rotate through different shoes trying to find the one that is best for them and more comfortable for them for running on the trails. Today I have on the Montrail Bajadas. I've been a fan of the Montrail shoes for quite a few years. You can see it has a really nice, I'm trying to hold my leg up there, really nice tread pattern on the shoe. I've only been wearing these a couple times, but they're really comfortable. I have a wide footbed. There's room for my toes. There's a little bit of cushion, but not a ton. I can still feel the ground. Now, I started out in the 5 fingers, the toe shoes, and I started out running in those when I was first starting to run on road, and I ran those up to my first 50K. And of course, as you probably have seen them, there's no cushion to them. You feel everything. You get your toes caught and stuff. You got to be really careful. There's not a lot of tread or traction on them, so they'll trip you up. And you need to start out really slow running in those. But I think there is something to that. They do help your form. You really get to feel the ground. You really pay attention to where your feet are going because you can feel all that stuff. I think when you get into the thicker cushion shoes, yeah, you can run harder. You don't need to feel the ground. You don't need to feel where the roots are. But I think that isn't necessarily helpful for everyone. I think it's good to have a base of feeling the ground, knowing where you put your feet, and then going up from there. Now, when I started running longer than a 50K, I decided I need to not use the toe shoes. I was falling down a lot. My toes were getting beat up. So I went to the Montrails. I went to the Montrail Rogue Racers to start. You could still feel a lot of the ground, but there was a little more protection. I wasn't beating my toes up as much. But really, I highly recommend just going out to a store, find a nice trail running store. There's Vertical Runner in Ohio, which is great. There's a few other trail running stores around here. Research up them online. Try on some shoes. Feel what fits you. Wear some different kinds of socks with them. Get a feel of what's comfortable. Most stores that are worth their while will let you try them on, run down the street a little bit to feel what they're like. Get something that's comfortable. I wouldn't go spending a ton of money straight off. Find a model that is comfortable for you as you're starting off, and then you can move up. You can find better shoes, ones that'll really be good for you. And it's a constant quest. I mean, if you talk to any runners, they're going to be like, well, I like this shoe, but it's something about this, and it's not quite enough cushion. And if I wear it for too long, blah, blah, blah. So it's a quest, and you're going to be looking. But when you find a really good shoe, stick with it. You can find, once they retire that model, you can find it usually on Amazon or some of the other websites for a cheaper price, which is really beneficial. Now, as for socks and other things, I wear the toe socks, but any kind of sock that is comfortable for you, you want to have it a little bit thick. Some people can't stand thick socks though. The other thing I do is I use Body Glide or cocoa butter on my feet for when I'm running on wet, because that'll keep those blisters minimal. Remember, blisters are caused by friction, heat, or wetness, a combination of those. So you want to try to minimize as much of those as you can. I mean, when you're on the trails, you're not going to minimize wetness, but if you put the Body Glide or the cocoa butter on your feet, that'll keep your toes that'll keep the friction from any dirt or grit rubbing on your feet, so you won't get blisters. Same with the toe socks. If you wear the toe socks, the individual sheaths on your toes will keep your toes from rubbing together, keep them from getting blisters, keep them from getting too tired or worn out as you go. Try to keep your feet dry as much as you can, but I don't really like, especially in our area where it's swampy and wet and you're gonna go probably ankle deep, knee deep in mud at times, I stay away from the Gore-Tex shoes just because once that moisture gets in there, it doesn't drain out. So you're gonna end up with a wet foot. A lot of shoes, I have the mesh on them. They're the ones that are gonna drain that water out. Your feet's still gonna be moist, but you're not gonna be slogging through water the rest of the day. So that's just a few of my takes on shoes you should start out looking for running in. But again, do your own research, try on your shoes, do what you can, figure out what works best for you. That's the key. But get out there on the trails and run.